Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have to tell you, my heart just about skipped a beat when I heard the latest rumblings coming out of General Hospital. If you have been following the storylines as closely as I have, you know that there is a massive shift happening right now, and it involves the very foundation of the show. Word on the street is that the writers are officially moving away from the dark, dangerous mob storylines that have dominated our screens for decades. I remember sitting in my living room years ago, watching the rise of the local underworld and thinking how thrilling it all was. But as time marches on, things change, and it seems our beloved characters are finally ready to turn over a new leaf. The biggest shocker of all is that Jason Morgan's recent decision to walk away from the syndicate is not just a passing phase. We all watched him return to Port Charles not too long ago, freshly released from that terrible captivity, and it was clear to anyone with eyes that the ordeal had changed him down to his very soul. He looked around, took a deep breath, and decided that his family had to come first. Now, in a twist that has everyone talking, Sonny is following suit. That is right, the undisputed kingpin of Port Charles has declared that he is also leaving the mob life behind. Naturally, this news has caused quite a stir among the viewers, and the reactions are as mixed as a box of assorted chocolates. I have spoken to so many folks who feel a profound sense of relief. Bless their hearts, they are just so happy to see these men finally step out of the shadows and try their hands at something new and safe. After all the heartbreak, the shootouts, and the constant looking over their shoulders, it feels like a breath of fresh air. On the other hand, there are plenty of loyal fans who are worried sick. They fear that without the classic mafia danger that General Hospital has relied on for so many years, the show might lose its edge and become a bit too quiet. Well, Maurice, the wonderfully talented man who brings Sonny to life, caught wind of these worries. A fan reached out on social media to express their concerns about the show becoming boring, and Maurice stepped right up to the plate to set the record straight. I just love how fiercely he protects his character and the fans. He assured everyone that there is absolutely nothing wrong with changing professions, and he made a promise that put my mind completely at ease. He gave us 3 major hints about what is coming next, and I am just itching to break them down with you. The very first hint Maurice dropped is that both Jason and Sonny will absolutely maintain their power in Port Charles. Now, that is a comfort, is it not? Leaving the mob does not mean these 2 strong, capable men are going to suddenly become weak or fade into the background. They are not going to be pushed around by anyone. Power does not always have to come from the barrel of a gun or a shady backroom deal. I can easily see them stepping into the corporate world, using their sharp minds and deep connections to run legitimate, highly successful businesses. They have always been natural leaders, and that kind of authority commands respect no matter what side of the law you are on. Thinking about Jason, this makes perfect sense. His time away from us was traumatic, and it forced him to reevaluate every single choice he ever made. He wants peace, but he is still Jason Morgan. He will always be a protector. Moving into a powerful, legitimate role allows him to keep his loved ones safe without drawing a target on their backs. And for Sonny, this is the evolution we have been praying for. He is getting older, he has a beautiful family, and it is high time he hangs up his hat and enjoys the fruits of his labor without the constant threat of going to prison or worse. This brings me to the second hint Maurice shared, which is that the future plans for these 2 men are simply incredible. He promised that what the writers have in store is going to blow us away. I cannot help but let my imagination run wild with the possibilities. Could we see Sonny and Jason teaming up to build a legitimate empire that rivals the Quartermains? Imagine the look on Tracy Quartermain's face if those 2 started buying up hospital shares or real estate right out from under her nose. It would be an absolute delight to watch them use their street smarts in the boardroom. Of course, this transition is not going to happen without a few bumps in the road. We already know that Jason and Sonny have been bumping heads lately, especially when it comes to Sonny's misplaced trust in Rick Lansing. Jason has always had a clear vision of who can and cannot be trusted, and his concerns about Rick are completely valid. Sonny, stubborn as a mule, has been defending Rick and insisting they all need to get along. I suspect that as they navigate this new, legitimate world, their different ways of handling conflicts like the one with Rick will provide plenty of juicy drama. They will have to learn how to solve problems without resorting to their old dangerous methods. And let us not forget about the women in their lives, especially Carly. She has been trying so hard to establish her own boundaries and explore her romance with Valentine Cassadine. Sonny has been having a terrible time letting go, even going so far as to secretly use Brick to sabotage Carly's new relationship. But perhaps, as Sonny steps away from his controlling mob boss persona, he will finally find the grace to let Carly live her life. Leaving the underworld might just be the very thing that heals their fractured family dynamic, bringing a sense of peace that they have not felt in decades. That leads perfectly into the third and perhaps most exciting hint that Maurice revealed. Another fan chimed in, hoping that the beautiful Justine Turner would still be part of Sonny's future. Maurice could not contain his excitement and confirmed that he had just finished filming some wonderful, engaging scenes with the actress who plays her. This tells me that the romance between Sonny and Justine is not only continuing, but is going to be a significant part of his new chapter. I am just tickled pink about this. Sonny Corinthos has had his fair share of great loves, but a relationship built in the shadow of the mob is always doomed to suffer. With Sonny going straight, he finally has the chance to offer a woman a normal, stable life. He can take Justine out to a lovely dinner without his bodyguards hovering over their shoulders. They can take walks by the water without worrying about rival enemies lurking in the alleyways. It is a clean slate for love, and I think Justine might just be the perfect woman to help him navigate this softer, more vulnerable side of himself. Hearing Maurice talk about how great their scenes together are just warms my heart. You can always tell when actors have that special spark, that natural chemistry that makes you believe in the story they are telling. If Maurice is having a good time filming it, you better believe we are going to have a wonderful time watching it unfold in our living rooms. It gives us all something beautiful to look forward to, a romance that is rooted in hope and new beginnings rather than secrets and danger. When you step back and look at the big picture, this shift in storytelling is exactly what General Hospital needs right now. We have loved the mob drama, we truly have, but there is so much more to these characters than the crimes they have committed. We want to see them grow. We want to see them find true, lasting happiness. Watching Jason and Sonny transition from outlaws to powerful, respected pillars of the community is going to be a fascinating journey. It is like watching a beautiful sunrise after a long, dark night. So, to all the folks who are worried about the show losing its spark, I say hold your horses and give it a chance. Change can be a little scary, especially when we have grown so accustomed to things being a certain way. But if the man who has lived and breathed Sonny Corinthos for all these years tells us that the future is bright, I am inclined to believe him. The heart of Port Charles has always been its families, its romances, and its resilience. I, for one, cannot wait to see Jason Morgan sitting behind a polished mahogany desk making big moves in the business world. I cannot wait to see Sonny Corinthos smiling a genuine carefree smile as he holds Justine's hand. We are entering a brand new golden era of our favorite show, filled with fresh opportunities, deep emotional connections, and plenty of surprises. Let us keep our eyes glued to the screen, support our beloved characters through this massive transition, and enjoy every single moment of the ride.